中になりすぎて上に乗れって。
15-year-old Wakana Gojo is an insecure yet passionate Hina doll artisan. Due to his unusual interest, he isolates himself from others out of fear of ridicule based on a traumatic childhood experience. He worries that people would not understand his passion for Hina dolls, which is unusual for teenage boys like him. When popular classmate Marin Kitagawa strikes up a conversation with him after an unfortunate accident, he panics and starts mumbling. Later, he gets stuck on cleaning duty after school when his classmates take advantage of his kindness and push it onto him. When he thought he was alone, Marin arrived and helped him, claiming it was her turn this week at cleaning duty. Marin tells him to speak up and be more honest with his feelings when he is uncomfortable with something. At home, Wakana gets distracted, sewing, that he cuts himself. He still can't forget what Marin told him about speaking his mind. He later realizes that their old sewing machine isn't working, so his grandfather states he will buy a new one. After school, Wakana looks for the sewing machine in the home economics room. He is relieved that the school has no handicrafts club, so he can continue sewing without worrying about people finding out. Suddenly, Marin walks in on him, and in panic, he drops the unfinished Hina doll he brought to school. Instead of laughing at him, Marin was incredibly impressed when she learns he knew how to use the sewing machine. He explains he has learned to use one as his family makes Hina dolls. Wakana was surprised, claiming that it was the first time someone praised him for doing what he liked. When she learns he knows how to make clothes, Marin quickly takes her uniform off and shows him her cosplay outfit of a video game character she likes. He initially thought it was a joke, comparing the outfit to what it was supposed to be. Marin tells him she wanted to cosplay as characters from her favorite manga, anime, or video game, describing it as the ultimate form of love. She then asks him if he can make cosplay outfits for her, claiming to want to become the video game character Shizuku Kuroi. Despite having never made clothes for a real person, Wakana agrees to help her and promises to do his best, much to Marin's delight. Marin expresses her desire to cosplay as Shizuku, a female character from the erotic video game Slimy Girls 2, which quickly made Wakana uncomfortable. Wakana claims he has never heard of it, so Marin started talking about it. He thought she was joking, but given her expression, he immediately realized she was serious. Wakana was surprised that she wanted to cosplay a character from an adult game and thought women weren't into those things. Marin argues that it's normal and claims that what one likes doesn't matter, regardless of their gender, validating his personal situation of liking Hina dolls despite being a boy. Wondering where to start, Marin hands him a guide on making cosplay outfits, which describes everything from what clothes to use, how to draw the pattern, and even how to use a sewing machine. He claims he can buy what they need, so they should start with the measurements. Although she is ready, Wakana tells her they can do it on Monday, worried that it's already late and he doesn't want to bother her on a weekend. The next day, Marin shows up outside Wakana's house. She claims she couldn't wait for Monday and decided to show up to do the measurements. Wakana panics when Marin strips down, but is relieved she is wearing a bathing suit underneath it. When he started to get her measurements, Wakana got flustered, worried that he'd be inappropriate to her, especially when he was measuring her bust and inseams. When Wakana asks her if she has references to the game so he can capture the design's pattern, Marin gives him both titles of the Slippery Girls game. Later that night, his grandfather arrived home, but was surprised Wakana was laser-focused playing an erotic game. Wakana gets vivid wet dreams of Marin the night before he returns to school. Marin starts being friendly, even at school. Worried about the rumors that they are dating, Wakana avoided her. Marin finally finds Wakana at the school's entrance, but he runs away from her. When he thinks he has finally lost her, Marin appears behind him and confronts Wakana. Wakana worries that people might mistake them for being friends, and rumors that they are dating are spreading. Marin is relieved and reassures him that they are friends, dragging him into shopping for materials for the costume. Before they started, Wakana handed Marine a detailed sketch, claiming they needed a lot of stuff for the costume. Wakana worries that he didn't bring any money, but Marine hands him an envelope claiming she has it covered. She explained that she had been saving her income from her part-time job, which would have been meaningless if she hadn't used it. After buying the clothing, they went to buy a wig. Marin suggests getting the black one, but Wakana claims the purple one fits the character better. Marin expresses her appreciation for him. She initially thought of doing it alone, but after going through the shops and selecting the wrong things, she was right to bring him along. She even dragged him into a lingerie shop for the garter stockings they needed. After shopping, they head to a ramen shop before walking home. Marine starts fangirling when she shows him pictures of other cosplayers. When she notices he doesn't seem interested, Wakana explains that he only uses the word beautiful if he genuinely means it. He shares that he was immediately smitten his first time seeing a Hina doll, thinking that something this beautiful actually exists. Marin explains that this was her way of showing her gratitude. Although she asks people to play slimy girls, no one plays it, and she is surprised that he does. He even went to make a detailed sketch of the outfit. Before they part ways, Marin mentions that the upcoming cosplay event is in 2 weeks. On the way home, Gojo starts to panic, worried he doesn't have enough time to finish it. Wakana worries about whether he will finish the outfit within 2 weeks. He comes home late, but when his grandfather checks where he has been, he is surprised to find women's stockings in one of his bags. He was so shocked that his grandfather fell on his bad back and was rushed to the hospital. Although he was sent home after giving some painkillers, Wakana's cousin, Miori, takes their grandfather back with her to stay with them while he's recovering. At school, Wakana explained to Marine what had happened at home. She feels bad and offers to cook for him. Genuinely worried, Marine offers to help however she can and asks to exchange contact information. With the pressure from visiting his grandfather and finishing the outfit, Wakana gets overwhelmed when he has to study for the midterm exam. Marin starts to worry that Wakana has grown distant over the last few days. Even after their exams, Wakana quickly leaves school to continue working on the outfit before the deadline. Worried about him, she drops by his house to bring him dinner, but assumes he isn't home as the lights are out. Eventually, stress and fatigue catch up to an exhausted Wakana, who wakes up in the middle of the night, weary and sick. He remembers his conversation with his grandfather and continues working on the costume all night. Marin was surprised that Wakana finished the costume. She was more surprised when she learned he thought she would join the cosplay event. She didn't know how long he would finish with the outfit, and seeing that there were plenty of cosplay events, she could easily find one if she needed to, so she didn't mind waiting until he finished it. Although he felt relieved that he still had time, Marin broke down, feeling guilty that she had not clearly explained the situation to him. She thought he was busy visiting his grandfather and didn't realize he continued working on the outfit despite going through so much. Now that the outfit is ready, he asks if she wants to try it. He even helped her with her hair and makeup. When they struggled to imitate the eyebrow, Marin shaves it off without hesitation, surprising Wakana. He even lends her some eyelashes he bought when he researched it for the Hina dolls. When she finally puts it on, Wakana describes her to be the spitting image of Shizuku, to which Marin was greatly pleased with the results. Now that she's wearing it, Marin asks Wakana to take pictures. She initially struggled to portray Shizuku's expressions as she was pleased just looking like one. Eventually, she gets the hang of it, and once she is happy with the pictures, Marin decides to post them online. Confident in her new outfit, Marin asks Wakana if he wants to go to the cosplay event. Wakana accompanies Marin to the cosplay event, who was extremely excited to show off her costume. She is thrilled to find other cosplayers that she recognizes in the crowd. Struggling with huge crowds, Wakana starts to panic when he sees that there are many people. Marin suggests they move to a different location when several fans approach her to take her picture. Watching her have a blast, Wakana wonders if this would be their last time hanging out, having fulfilled the promise he made. Later, Marin walks up and tells him that her outfit is about to come off. Worried about the heat, they head back inside to cool off. Wakana worries that because he chose thicker fabric, it made it more difficult to wear outside because of the heat. Wakana helps her cool down, but before they leave, she asks if they could return to the plaza one last time. She later meets with the lady who asked to take her picture, but she bailed on her because she was feeling uncomfortable earlier. On their way home, Wakana tells her he enjoyed it, thinking it would be their last when Marin asks what they should work on next. She claims that she still has 50 other characters that she considers her favorites, to which he was relieved to continue working with her. Fatigue finally sinks in, and Wakana gets sleepy on the train ride home. Wakana falls asleep, but before he does, he tells her that she is beautiful, to which Marin is stunned. She remembers him telling her once that he doesn't carelessly say the word beautiful unless he genuinely means it. Wakana's grandfather finally returns home, but is surprised to see his grandson invite a female friend over and spend time together alone. Wakana explains the situation to his grandfather while Marin realizes she has fallen in love with him. At dinner, Marin describes her family situation and questionable eating habits. Worried that she isn't eating properly, Wakana's grandfather offers to have her eat dinner with them from now on, to which she agrees. The next day, it was pouring, so Wakana's grandfather invited Sejuna Inui inside, assuming she was Wakana's friend. Wakana wonders who it could be when his only female friend was Marin, but she was at work. Worried that a burglar tricked his grandfather into inviting them inside, Wakana confronts the stranger in the bathroom, only to discover a naked Sejuna who just got out of the shower. When she started talking about costumes, Wakana quickly assumed she was into Hina dolls. He quickly shows her around the museum, but Sejuna claims she came to order cosplay costumes. When Wakana explains that he wasn't making costumes for business, she threatens to report him as a peeping Tom. He quickly gets flustered until he discovers that she is Juju, a cosplayer that Marin likes. Juju explains that she saw Marin's pictures online. She went undercover at the cosplay event when she learned that Marin would be there hoping to get a closer look at the costume. She overhears them talking and discovers that Wakana made it for Marin, so she follows him back home and discovers where he lives. Marin arrived and was shocked to meet Juju in person, so she started fangirling. Juju asks Wakana to make her a costume for Shion Nikaido, or Black Lily from the Fierce Flower Princess anime. Juju was surprised that Moran knew about the anime, which she thought was the type who would only cosplay without knowing the story or its characters. Juju explains that she once tried buying a pre-made Black Lily costume sold on the market, but adjusting it to fit her was difficult. She asks Wakana to make her a costume that will fit her size. Wakana notices that Marin liked Shion a lot, seeing she has many keychains in her bag. Juju wonders why not cosplay as Shion, but Marin refuses. Marin explains that since she's tall, her version of Shion would be pretty different from the actual one. Although she could do it because she likes it, she doesn't want to ruin her image because she loves her. She claims she would only cosplay close to the characters, which greatly impressed Juju. With Juju deciding to cosplay as Shion, Marin asks if they could collaborate with her as Black Lobelia's Neon. Juju refuses, claiming she is only cosplaying to get a good photo of it and has no intention of doing it with another cosplayer. When they learn Juju is planning to rent a studio for it, Marin convinces her to agree by sharing the cost of the studio. Wakana claims he needs to watch the anime, but Juju thought he only needed reference scenes. He thought at first that's all he needed, but without knowing the details, he couldn't choose the appropriate fabric for the character's costume. He explains he finished both of the Slimy Girls games when he made Shizuku's outfit. Worried where he'd watch it, Marin claims she has a copy of the anime and will lend it to him. That night, his grandfather praises his improvement, describing his previous work as stiff compared to his recent work, which is softer. His grandfather tells him that if he aims to become a great Hina artisan, he can't only look at dolls, but also encourages him to look at many things. The next day, Wakana shows up at Marin's apartment to pick up the DVD when she overslept, having watched the anime again last night. When she finally lets him in, she tells him they should watch it together, later realizing that she is on a home date with him. Marin quickly gets flustered when suddenly her stomach grumbles. Wakana offers to buy her something, but she insists on cooking for him. Although not as she hoped it'd be, Marin was pleased to hear that Wakana enjoyed her cooking. She thought he was just being nice, but Wakana insists it's delicious. The next day, Wakana calls Juju and sends her detailed sketches of her outfit. After looking at all her cosplay photos, Wakana asks her how she changes the shape of her eyes. Juju teaches him to use eye tape to alter its shape, whether to make it bigger, slant, or droop. Juju was surprised that Shizuku was their first cosplay project. Juju claims they'll be using their camera for their collaboration and explains that her sister usually takes her photos. Wakana asks if her sister can teach him how to use a camera. Worried that her sister is still in middle school, Juju suggests meeting at a restaurant near their house. Marin wants to join them, claiming she wants to know more about cameras. Wakana and Marin were surprised to meet Juju's little sister, Shinju, who, despite her large size and voluptuous body, is quite shy and reserved, unlike her sister. Marin was impressed with the photos Shinju took of her sister. Juju explained that she had only asked her to take her picture, but Shinju had created her cosplayer account and uploaded her pictures. Back then, Shinju felt terrible that her sister didn't show her photos to anyone, so she asked if she could make an account for her. She was surprised they got a lot of good feedback, but when people started messaging her, she didn't know how to respond, so she ended up ignoring them. Shinju shows them the camera she uses to take Juju's picture, which they borrowed from their father. She explains the difference between using a camera and just using your smartphone. With a camera, they can blur the background to make the cosplayer stand out, or blur the foreground to create a gentler atmosphere. Marin wonders if she too wants to cosplay after capturing cute photos of her sister. Shinju paused before answering and stated that she loves taking pictures of her sister and won't be doing it herself. When they checked how much a camera costs, Marin and Wakana were surprised at how expensive they were. The group later visits the studio, which turns out to be an abandoned hospital. Everyone was excited except for Juju, who, from her expression, was afraid of ghosts. Although the setting is good, Marin worries it may be too dark to take a picture. Shinju claims it's no problem and explains they have a strobe light they can use. She shows her the benefits of using reflector boards when doing outside photo shoots. Meanwhile, Wakana finds a trembling Juju by the stairs and wonders why she is pushing herself. Unlike Wakana's dream of becoming a Hina doll artisan, Juju explains that she dreams of becoming a magical girl. Ever since growing up, she has wanted to become one, even though she eventually realizes it's not real. She claims that even if it's unreasonable or fake, she wants to make her dream come true even once. He wonders why she chose him to make her outfit when many out there can make better costumes. Juju explains that since she saw Marin's Shizuku, she quickly fell in love with the outfit. Marin randomly asks Wakana to go to the beach after finishing their finals. A large Seahawk swooped in and stole Marin's burger when they arrived. They later share the remaining burger when Marin jumps into the water. Wakana joins him and is quickly drawn into it, revealing that this was his first time at the beach. He claims he never got to visit that many places in his childhood due to his peculiar hobby. Stunned, Marin promises to take him to many places during their summer break. Wakana shows Juju and Marin their completed outfits, and both are incredibly impressed. Once they have dressed up, Wakana wants to do her hair and makeup. Wakana tries what he learned from Juju by using tape to turn Marin's eyes into slit ones like that of Black Lobelia. Marin was thrilled when she looked into the mirror, looking exactly like her character. She claims she's excited to cosplay together, but it turns out it was raining hard that day. Marine and Juju have already changed into their costumes and are waiting for Shinju and Wakana to set up. They were surprised by Shinju's new look when they finally arrived. In a flashback to the day they first visited the studio, Juju and Marin head home first. Wakana confronts Shinju after suspecting that she wanted to cosplay like her sister. He suspects she could not say it back then, worried about what her sister would think. Shinju admits that she has always liked one character and wanted to cosplay as them. As Marin suspected, Shinju wanted to cosplay after seeing her sister do it, but she worries that she wouldn't look good. She worries that it would make her sister uneasy and would come to hate her. Wakana encourages her, claiming that her sister is the type who would accept her and offers to help. When asked who she wanted to cosplay, Shinju tells him it's Soma, Mirai's big brother from the Fierce Flower Princess 2. She asks him to keep it a secret from them, as this is her first time, and she feels embarrassed about it. Shinju wonders if he can do it, worried that there are parts where clothes usually don't fit, and since she's still in middle school, she will only be using her allowance, which is not much. They return to Wakana's house, where he lends her his school uniform, claiming it is the same as Soma's. Shinju puts it on and tries to suck it in, but her chest was too big that the button of the sleeves came off. They are struggling to find something that fits her and need to make it look masculine. They tried wearing a sarashi to cover it up, but it wasn't enough. Searching online, they discovered an item called a bee holder, so they immediately bought it when they found it to be within their price range. In the present, Juju and Marin are surprised by her cosplay, which is exactly like the characters. They were so amazed by it that Marin asked to have a group picture. Shinju didn't know what to expect from her sister's reaction, but when she was so pleased by her, it made her very happy. Worried that they only rented the studio for an hour, the group continued the photo shoot. Juju thanked Wakana for helping Shinju and offered to reimburse her for the other expenses that her sister couldn't pay. She claims she is a failure as a big sister, having not known Shinju wanted to cosplay, or that she couldn't even tell her about it. Wakana claims to understand and explains that telling other people what we like or want to do is scary. That night, Juju and Shinju were going through the pictures. Shinju wonders if her cosplay is weird, but Juju explains that she is envious of her. She claims that there are things even she can't do. Although she wanted to cosplay as Black Lobelia or Soma, her height would ruin the character's image, and that is something she would never do. Shinju claims that once she's in high school, she will work part-time jobs to save money and continue cosplaying, to which Juju agrees. For their next cosplay, Marin wants to do Prisoner Veronica. Wakana claims he can do the outfit more quickly because the design is simple. Marin shows up at his house with her skin completely tan to match Veronica's skin color. She explains that she used a foundation on her body to get her skin color to match Veronica's. After showering, Marin shows him the black skin foundation and white mascara she used earlier. She even went to buy some chains at the Halloween corner and some wallpaper to match the background. When she was about to change into her outfit, Marin asked Wakana to help put the foundation on her back. Wakana quickly realizes the amount of skin she'll be showing and blushes. Marin worries that he is getting heat stroke and wants to get some water. but instead trips when she gets up because she was trying the chains on her legs. She couldn't wear the wig because of a bump on her head, so she opted to do Prisoner Veronica some other time. Marin takes Wakana to Shibuya to buy him some clothes the next day. Wakana claims he doesn't know how to buy clothes, so she suggests trying them. Although he doesn't like them, Marin thinks he looks good in them, so she can't just choose one. Unable to find anything he likes, she suggests getting something to eat. While walking, Marin tells him that the swelling on her head has shrunk down and wonders when they can do Prisoner Veronica. Wakana tells her he will be sitting this one out and asks her to do it herself, which surprises Marin. He explains that when he thought about her costume, it was way too revealing, especially around her breasts, and that he couldn't stare at her. Marin is relieved to hear the reason and agrees to carefully choose her characters next time. After walking around Shibuya, Marin suggests they cool down at a comic book cafe. Wakana gets flustered when the booth is cramped and they are too close to each other. While waiting for the food, Marin recommends he read a slice-of-life comic, Bokubus. This comic has the protagonist, Kaname, who writes light novels all night, so he rarely sleeps. The succubus, Cutie Rizu, does her best to put him to sleep. Although Marin likes half pigtails, she worries that it doesn't look right. Wakana tells her that she'd look good in it and encourages her to cosplay as Cutie Rizu since she likes her so much. At night, Marin tells Wakana that she bought a swimsuit resembling Cutie Rizu. When she learns that Wakana also finished the outfit, she suggests they do the photo shoot at a studio, claiming that the nasty posters in her room aren't working. She claims to have found a studio resembling Kaname's room near Wakana's house. The next day, Wakana and Marin meet only to discover that the studio she booked is a love hotel. She explained that when looking online, she found a big bed just like Kaname's room, so she quickly booked the place. She realized it wasn't until they arrived that it was a love hotel. Marin states she'll change, worried that they'd be wasting money if they didn't do a photo shoot while they're already there. They quickly started the photo shoot, reenacting several scenes from the comic book. Everything was going well, and the last scene they will be doing is the lullaby singing one. They tried different angles, but couldn't seem to find the right one. Wakana suggests shooting from Kaname's point of view, so he asks her to get on top of him. Although they finally get the desired angle for the shot, they suddenly hear a couple in the next room making love. Wakana quickly realizes that they are still in a love hotel, and that he just asked Marin to get on top of him. He quickly gets embarrassed and tries to get her off him, but instead makes it more awkward when he grabs her hips and inadvertently turns the lights off. They start to lean towards each other as if going for a kiss, when the phone suddenly rings and tells them that their time is up. Wakana drops by Marin's apartment to help her with summer homework. Marin is frustrated that her father canceled going to the summer festival because she has not done her homework. She complains that she has not attended any festivals this year because she was busy with her part-time work. When asked what her job was, she tells him that she's a reader model, sort of an amateur fashion model. He asks why she has taken more jobs, and she reveals she is saving up to buy a camera. Tired from all the studying, Marin takes a break and suggests watching a horror movie. Wakana worries that he has not watched one before. Towards the end, Wakana analyzes the actors' costumes while Marin is left scared. When she thought she was done with her homework, Marin realized that she had left her math questionnaire at school, and Wakana accompanied her. Wakana jumps after Marin and saves her from drowning when she slips into the pool. She reveals she couldn't swim or even float, which surprised him when she went to the beach with her friends. She explained that she only took photos, chatted, and ate at the beach house with them. After finally finishing her homework, Marin invites Wakana to the festival. He was stunned when he saw her in a yukata, which made her happy. After going through every vendor, they head to the venue for the fireworks display. Wakana reveals that this was his first time watching fireworks, which in the past were just noises from the window in his room while he kept busy working on Hina dolls. After the fireworks display, Marin couldn't walk anymore, having bruised her feet walking in sandals she wasn't used to. She suggests he give her a piggyback ride home, to which he complies. Later that night, Marin calls Wakana, having scared herself when she watched a horror movie alone. Wakana thought she said the previous film wasn't scary, but she claims she could handle it because he was there. Now, even a rattle would startle her, and she thought someone might be behind her. He tries to comfort her, but she is inconsolable and begs him to stay with her on the call until they fall asleep. After talking so much, Marin is no longer scared, and Wakana gets sleepy. Marin confesses when he finally falls asleep, though he remains completely unaware. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos, and subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.